If you're over 60, something may be happening to your brain tonight, and you won't feel a thing while you're asleep, while the house is quiet, while everything seems calm. Your brain could be losing cells, not because you failed, not because you didn't try to stay sharp, but because it's missing something simple. You may have noticed small changes, walking into a room and forgetting why, looking for your glasses and realizing they're already in your hand. A familiar name, just out of reach. It's subtle, it's quiet, easy to dismiss. Most people call it just aging. But what if it isn't? What if your brain isn't fading? What if it's simply undernourished at night? After 30 years of watching patients struggle with memory changes, I can tell you this: there is something you can do, starting tonight, and it doesn't come from a prescription bottle. If staying independent matters to you, if keeping your memory matters to you, stay with me for the next few minutes. This may be simpler than you think. 1. Bananas. Because when you eat matters just as much as what you eat. Let us talk about bananas. The aging brain is not broken. It is undernourished. Bananas may seem simple, but they provide one of the most powerful combinations for overnight brain support, especially when eaten at the right time. For older adults, timing makes a meaningful difference. This fruit is rich in vitamin B6, a nutrient the brain needs to produce key neurotransmitters such as serotonin, dopamine, and gamma-aminobutyric acid. These chemicals do more than influence mood. They are essential for forming, storing, and retrieving memories. As we age, natural production of these neurotransmitters slows. That is when names become harder to recall, conversations feel less clear, and mental sharpness fades, particularly after a restless night. Bananas help replenish the brain's neurochemical supply, so it can process and store information more efficiently even during sleep. Bananas also contain a magnesium, a mineral known to calm overactive neurons, reduce nighttime brain excitability, and support deep sleep. Deep sleep is the stage when the brain performs cellular repair and consolidates memory. A 2020 study published in Nutrients observed that older adults with higher magnesium and vitamin B6 intake before bedtime showed better short-term recall and more stable mood patterns the following morning. The researchers concluded that nutrient timing may play a significant role in cognitive resilience in later life. Bananas also provide tryptophan, an amino acid that converts into serotonin and melatonin, two compounds deeply involved in memory processing and brain recovery during sleep. Serotonin supports synaptic transmission, while melatonin stimulates the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein critical for neuron survival and growth. In simple terms, bananas help create the conditions the brain needs to repair itself, not merely rest. For example, a retired accountant named Martin shared that he felt mentally slow and scattered every morning. He began eating one banana about 1 hour before bed for 2 weeks, without supplements or major lifestyle changes. By the end of the second week, he noticed clearer thinking and improved focus. For older adults, that kind of change represents more than improvement. It represents independence. To gain the full benefit, eat one small to medium ripe banana about 45 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Choose one with a few brown spots, since ripening increases the availability of magnesium and tryptophan. If you are concerned about blood sugar levels, pair the banana with a few almonds to slow absorption. Avoid heavy meals, dairy products, or caffeine near this time, as they may interfere with melatonin release and reduce the brain's calming signals. The strength of bananas is not that they are exotic, it is that they are reliable. A steady source of the exact compounds the brain needs at the precise time it needs them most. This is not about manipulating the brain. It is about nourishing it, gently, naturally, and consistently. Exactly what the aging mind deserves. 2. Apples. Now, if bananas refill your neurochemical tank, what happens when you also clear the brain? Oxidative waste. That is where apples come in. If bananas refuel the brain, apples cleanse it. This fruit hides a secret under the skin of every apple, is a blend of antioxidants, polyphenols, and flavonoids. Compounds that play a critical role in protecting brain tissue from oxidative stress, a driver of memory loss and mental decline in older adults. As we age, Free radicals build up in the brain. These unstable molecules damage neurons, wear down the myelin sheath, and disrupt synaptic transmission. The result is slower thinking, weaker recall, and a higher risk of cognitive disorders. Apples push back. They are rich in quercetin, a flavonoid concentrated in the peel. Quercetin acts like a neuroprotective shield, lowering inflammation in the hippocampus, the brain memory center, and slowing oxidative damage. A study from 2017 in experimental gerontology found that quercetin supplementation in older mice preserved cognitive performance and hippocampal plasticity, suggesting it may counter age-related memory decline. More striking, the dosages used were roughly equivalent to what you would get from eating 1 apple per day. But antioxidants are only part of the story. Apples are high in soluble fiber, especially pectin, which has been shown to feed gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate. These compounds are known to cross the blood-brain barrier and trigger the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein essential for forming new brain cells and retaining memory. The gut-brain axis is not a theory anymore. It is a proven communication line, and apples are one of the few fruits that work on both ends of that line, feeding the gut and rebuilding the brain. A human trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who ate 2 apples daily over 12 weeks showed better executive function and verbal recall, along with lower markers of systemic inflammation. Even more interesting, apples contain catechins, another class of antioxidants also found in green tea that supports cerebral blood flow. Good circulation means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to working neurons, especially at night, when the brain clears metabolic waste and consolidates learning. Taken together, these compounds form a multi-tiered system of support. They reduce inflammation, they promote neurogenesis, they strengthen communication between neurons, and they do it without side effects, supplements, or gimmicks. But the timing matters. For maximum impact, apples should be eaten in the evening, but not right before bed. The ideal window is 1.5 to 2 hours before sleep, allowing the antioxidants to circulate and the fiber to begin fermenting in the gut. Choose apples with red or dark skin, such as Gala Fuji or Red Delicious, because these contain higher concentrations of quercetin and polyphenols. Do not peel them. The skin is where most of the brain protective compounds are found. One fruit, one habit, and a cascade of effects that ripple through your neural networks overnight, when paired with a calming fruit like banana apples, help create the biochemical environment for the brain to restore itself quietly, efficiently, and naturally while you are sleeping. 3. Oranges. But we are not done yet. There is one more fruit, bright, juicy, and bursting with vitamin C, that completes this nightly trio. Let us move on to oranges. The brain does not just fade with age, it rusts. At the microscopic level, every memory, every decision, every thought creates oxidative waste. And unless that waste is cleared, it builds up damages neurons, disrupts neurotransmitters, and accelerates cognitive decline. This is where oranges come in. Often overlooked, as only an immune support food, oranges are among the most brain-protective fruits available, especially for older adults. Their power centers on one nutrient, vitamin C. Your brain holds the highest concentration of vitamin C in the entire body, but the problem is it cannot store it. That means even one night without enough vitamin C can leave the brain vulnerable to oxidative damage and inflammation. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant, but its role in the brain goes much deeper. It is essential for the production of dopamine and norepinephrine, 2 key neurotransmitters involved in motivation, alertness, and focus. Without enough vitamin C, these pathways begin to slow down, leading to fatigue, brain fog, and poor short-term memory. A 2012 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults with higher vitamin C intake scored significantly higher on cognitive tests, especially in tasks related to attention span and processing speed. And it does not stop there. Vitamin C also protects the blood-brain barrier, a crucial gatekeeper that helps keep toxins and pathogens from reaching the brain. As we age, this barrier becomes more fragile. Oranges help strengthen it, reducing the risk of inflammatory molecules entering and disrupting delicate brain circuits. Another layer of defense comes from hesperidin, a flavonoid found in orange pulp and peel. Hesperidin has been shown to increase cerebral blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to active neurons during sleep. In a 2019 trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who consumed citrus flavonoids daily experienced improved brain perfusion and better episodic memory after just 8 weeks. This matters even more overnight, when the brain enters glymphatic clearance, a process that flushes out waste like beta-amyloid and tau proteins, both linked to neurodegeneration. Oranges support this process by helping keep blood vessels open, neurons protected, and chemical signals stable. And yes, real people feel the difference. Sarah, who struggled to stay mentally sharp after dinner, started eating orange slices 2 hours before bed. After just 10 days, she told me, "I wake up thinking clearly again. It is like someone cleaned the windows in my head. To get these benefits, choose fresh oranges, not processed juice." The fiber in whole fruit slows sugar absorption and improves the delivery of hesperidin and vitamin C to the brain. Eat half to 1 orange about 90 minutes before bedtime, ideally paired with a small source of healthy fat, like a few nuts or seeds, to support nutrient absorption. The pith, that white layer under the peel, is packed with flavonoids, so do not remove it too aggressively. Avoid combining oranges with caffeine chocolate or heavy starches, which may interfere with nighttime clearance and slow nutrient transport. Vitamin C is not only for colds, it is a neurological ally, working quietly during sleep to reduce brain fog, restore attention, and preserve mental clarity. Now that you have seen how bananas, apples, and oranges each play a unique role in overnight brain recovery, it is time to bring them together. Next, I will show you a simple nightly fruit routine designed to nourish your neurons before your head hits the pillow. Knowledge alone does not change your brain. Action does. After understanding how bananas support neurotransmitters, apples help clear oxidative debris, and oranges shield the brain with vitamin C, the next question is simple. How do you turn this into a routine that actually works? The brain thrives on consistency, especially when it comes to nighttime recovery. Unlike the heart or muscles, the brain does not recover well under chaos. It needs a predictable window of rest, clean nutrients, and the right biochemical environment to repair and reset overnight. A 2012 review in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews emphasized that nutrient timing is as important as nutrient type for cognitive health in older adults. In other words, eating the right foods at the right time can make or break the brain's ability to consolidate memory and slow age-related cognitive decline. This is why the evening routine matters. The goal is not to overload the brain with nutrients right before sleep, but to prepare internal systems 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. That gives your gut time to digest and deliver key compounds to the brain right as deep repair begins. Here is how to do it. Start with half a ripe banana about 1 hour before bed. This gives your brain access to magnesium, tryptophan, and vitamin B6, key players in producing serotonin and melatonin, which help initiate sleep and support memory processing. Next, about 90 minutes before sleep, eat half to 1 small red apple. The fiber and antioxidants in the peel begin circulating, reducing inflammation and supporting neuroprotective compounds like quercetin and pectin. Finally, around the 2-hour mark, enjoy half of a fresh orange or a few orange segments. The vitamin C and hesperidin absorb and begin supporting the blood-brain barrier while improving blood flow, 2 factors that strongly influence sleep-related memory consolidation. If your digestion is sensitive, spread these fruits earlier in the evening. For example, you can eat the orange with dinner, then have the apple as a light after-dinner snack and finish with the banana last. Avoid combining them with heavy meals, caffeine, or large amounts of dairy, which can interfere with absorption and disrupt the timing of key brain compounds. In a 2021 clinical trial published in Brain Sciences, researchers found that combining antioxidant-rich foods like berries, citrus, and apples led to greater improvements in verbal recall and processing speed than consuming them separately. That supports the idea of a fruit trio working better together than alone. To make the habit sustainable, prepare your fruit in advance. Wash the apple and orange earlier in the day. Slice the banana right before eating. Keep portions moderate. You are not feeding your stomach, you are feeding your brain. Do not turn it into dessert. No honey, no whipped cream. No sugary fruit bowls. This is not a treat. It is a therapeutic routine. And stay consistent. The brain responds to rhythm. A steady evening fruit routine supports circadian alignment, which improves sleep efficiency, hormone balance, and cognitive resilience. A 2020 article in Aging Research Reviews reported that people who maintained consistent evening eating patterns showed lower markers of cognitive aging over a 5-year period. This is about more than memory. It is about protecting your identity. Your ability to remember the names of your loved ones, navigate familiar places, follow a conversation, and learn something new without frustration. And it can start with something as simple as choosing the right fruit at the right time. Now, let us bring everything together. In the final part, I want to leave you with a few words I hope stay with you not just tonight, but for years to come. If you have made it this far, I want to tell you something. Many people over 60 do not hear often enough. You are not broken. You are not fading. And you are not powerless. Yes, memory changes with age. Yes, the brain slows down. But that is not the end of the story. It never was. What your brain needs right now is not another supplement bottle or a complicated mental exercise. It needs rest, nourishment, and consistency. And the tools that protect your memory are not locked behind prescriptions or expensive protocols. They are in your kitchen. They are in a bowl on your counter, a ripe banana, a crisp apple, a fresh orange, simple, familiar, and supported by science to protect the brain support neurotransmitters and help you wake up clearer than you felt the night before. So if you have been forgetting more lately, if your thoughts feel slower, if your mornings feel heavier, if conversations feel harder to follow, remember this: you are not losing your mind. You are gaining a new kind of control, one that starts with understanding how the brain works, one that is strengthened by small actions done consistently, one that builds night after night from choices you can make starting now. Because memory is not just about remembering facts, it is about remembering who you are, and that is always worth protecting. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Senior Meal Coach for more science-backed tips to stay strong and independent after 60. Remember, this aging doesn't have to mean getting weaker. With the right daily habits, you can wake up every morning feeling stronger. The choice is yours. Have a blessed day, and as always, breathe easy, my friend.